Okay, here we are with Chris Bartik, and this is his stave from his property.
This is a shag bark hickory stave we cut back more than a year ago, last August, and it's been drying since then. Nice, beautiful piece of wood. We just marked it out. We'll try to get some speed out of it, make some speed tip design type of layout. And now we're going to cut it out on the bandsaw and thin the limbs down to probably about a ½ inch or so.
Okay, there's the front profile, the back of the bow. Okay, and now we're going to do the side profile. And I'm going to check the wood on fire hardening in the back, and we're going to come back and trim it. Okay, what I want to talk about on the bandsaw is that when I lay it out on the bandsaw, okay, and you're trimming, a slight turn either way, and you can make this a kitty bow. So when you're cutting, I try to have the back of the bow parallel with the table. If anything, I'd rather have it torqued up when I'm pulling it through, and that will leave the bottom side a little thicker. I'd rather cut it through and have it a little thicker than go, oops, this way, and when you look over here, there's nothing left, all right? So if you're going to use a draw knife, that's the safest way. Whatever you're going to use, sandpaper, whatever you're going to use to take it down, when you're using these power tools, you could destroy the bow and just a little twitch of your hand, okay? So once again, when I go, I try to keep it parallel with the table. If there's a twist in the wood, I'd rather go this way. I'd rather go where it's leaning into the blade and have a little thicker on the bottom, okay, than have it thinner on the bottom, because that belt sander really works miracles. It takes down a material and works nice. Anything you want to add, Chris?
Yeah, that's it pretty much. Now we're going to next thing is put it on the jig, heat it up to bend it onto the jig,
right, clamp
it onto the jig, and then at some point we'll fire harden it.
Yep, so we got about an hour to chill out because I'm finishing up that black locust bow. I got it cooking, and we'll come back with the jig, and we're going to put this on that jig. Sound good?
Yep.
All right.
All right, this is day 2, working with this bow. Yesterday on my poison video, we started this, and today we're just prepping it to put it onto the fire hardening jig. I think mark the lines down. We started at 5/8, we're going to take it down to ½ inch, get it to floor tiller a little bit more before we try to bend it onto the jig. So right now I'm just taking some more material off with the belt sander and getting it down thinner, so we can get it to bend a little more, and then we're going to put some heat on it to bend it to the jig and put the clamps on it and get the fire going.
And once again, what is the deal with that? How long has that been aging, and that's from your property?
This is a piece of shag bark hickory that came off my property upstate. Cut this a year ago this past August, so August of 23 cut this, and it was drying since then. So it's a nice, very nice, clean piece of wood. So,
yeah, pristine piece, man.
Should make a nice bow.
All right, I'll let you get back to work.
All right, now we got it thinned out to where it's bending pretty good, floor tillering. Now we're to bend it onto this jig, instead of forcefully pushing it down where we could actually you could split the stave or damage it. We're going to heat it up with the heat gun and take our time. It's going to take
probably a good 20 minutes, 10, 20 minutes per side to do it. It will gradually, as it gets heated up, it'll easily bend. It'll bend. It'll get softer, bend very easily, and we'll put one clamp at a time on it and bend it down to the jig. And when we put the clamps on, we always put it so that the actual clamp is on the back side, so you don't have to go around it with the heat gun. But and once it's all clamped down, we're ready to put it on the coals and cook it.
All right, so now we got it clamped down on the fire hardening jig. However, now we have to flip all these. We're going one at a time. We're going to take them off, and we're going to flip them over, because otherwise, the bottom of it's going to go, the belly of the boat is going to go into the fire, so that the handles will be in the fire. So we're going to flip them over 180 degrees. They'll be up like that. Handle will be out of the fire, and going to go get the coals going. We're going to put a little moisture on it first. Try to put a little bit of moisture back into the boat before we put it on top of the coals, and we'll be cooking in a little while.
Okay, now that you see my fire hardening jig, and you see that I got the foil, let me show you how the cleanup is for this. Okay? I kind of rip it in the middle here, because it's got foil, right? Watch this. Look at this. One side. The other side. Okay? How easy is that?
All right, Joe cleaned out the old coals from yesterday. We crumbled up some aluminum foil, put a bunch of it on both ends so that the coals will be higher on both ends to conform with the jig. You know, as you lay the jig on there, the limbs come up like this on both ends, so that raises the coals up higher to the bottom of the limbs. And then in the middle here is just going to be flat.
Yeah, we put just a little in the middle so some air can get under the coals. And that's it. We're going to load it up with coals and get it started, and he's going to cook the hickory bone.
Now that's a fire.
All right. After we hit it with the heat gun to bend it onto the form, we brought it back here. We wiped it down with a wet rag multiple times. Gave it some time for that moisture to soak into the wood again, to rehydrate it a little bit. And then we let it sit for a while, maybe 20 minutes, and then we put it on over the coals. We left it up high for about a half an hour now, and that's so that moisture dries out slowly, and we don't get any checking or anything like that. So in a few minutes, we're going to lower it down closer to the coals, and we're going to cook it for probably a couple hours. All right, now we lowered it down on top of the coals, close to the coals. If you can put your hand underneath it with your palm up and hold it there for about a count of 3. If you're there for 4 seconds and it starts to get very hot, that's about the right temperature, about the right height. Yeah. So that end might be able to come down a little bit. Right now it's 20 after 12.
And what we're looking for is a brown color. We really don't care too much about the time, but it usually takes 2.5 hours, and that's hickory.
Yeah.
So it's really good. You did a great job of shaping it.
Yeah. For the most part, we're looking for the right color. We're looking to get it where you can see it actually changing color up into the middle of the limb a little bit on the sides, so you know that it's not just on the surface. It's cooking down deeper into the wood.
It's been on there for 1 hour now. We've been tightening up the clamps here and there. As the wood shrinks, they loosen up. And moving the coals around, trying to keep consistent heat for the whole length of the bowl. We're going to lift it up now and see what kind of color we have.
Yeah, you added some coals too, right?
We've been adding coals. And get it up here to see what kind of color we got.
Okay, let's check it out. Okay, from the center riser going out, we got a nice color going, right? A little lighter on the ends. Yeah. And we got the color coming from here, from the left side here, going out, and we need a little bit more on the ends. It's coming along really good. Coming along good. Looking good. Right? What do you think?
I think it's pretty good so far.
Yeah. So, like I said, time isn't important. We've got to try and get everything nice and brown, maybe a little more in the coals and the fade outs over on this side here and on the ends. Yeah. All right? Yeah. Getting the color now, right?
Yeah, getting some color. I saw some smoke. I don't know if it came off the wood or...
Okay. Quite windy. It's getting cold out, and big storm coming tomorrow. We're supposed to have gale force winds tomorrow. But look at the coals. See how red they are from the wind blowing? Yeah. We keep adding coals and knocking off ashes. We're going through a lot of coals.
Yeah, it's a lot different than doing it in July, right?
Yeah, it's different than doing it in the summertime, boy, and trying to do this in the winter. But it's coming along, getting nice color on everything, right? Okay, well, Chris is fire hardening. I haven't seen her in a while, but here's Henrietta. She came up to eat the cat food. She's pretty bold. She comes up, and there was 13 other ones, and hunting season's over now, but I think they're in somebody's freezer because I haven't seen the 13 in them. Henrietta, what are you doing, Henrietta? Hey.
All right. It's only been 2 hours, and time is not really a factor. It's about getting the right color. We thought it would take longer, but I mean, this has got color all the way through on the fade outs and tip to tip.
Yeah, this is done. It's cooked, right?
I think it's done.
Well, the other thing too is this was an aged stave that you had aged for a year. It's not like the raw ones we've been cooking that takes a lot longer, right? From a living tree.
A lot less moisture to force out of it, I guess.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Maybe we'll just let it. Maybe we'll just leave it on there level for another half hour or so, and just let it cook for a little longer till the coals burn down, and
that's it.
And I think we're going to be done.
Yeah, good job. You did a good job on it. Looking good.
It's been 2.5 hours, and we have some really nice color from end to end. Really nice.
Okay, we're done, man.
Really nice, and we think it's done. So we're going to take it off, put it on the table over there, let it cool a little bit, and then we're going to take the clamps off and
check out the
back
back
what
set.
Back set stays in it. We just took it off the back set jig, and we got pretty good color all the way, tip to tip. Very nice, very nice. And look how much back set is in that.
Yeah, put it up on that. Sit it up on that. Turn it around. Wow, a lot of back set. Yeah.
Very good back set.
So what are you going to do with that? What kind of tips you say you're putting on that again?
I'm probably going to put deer antler tips on it.
Okay.
Knocks. And we may be gluing a piece of another piece of wood on the back here, back of the handle. Just
make a little bigger handle.
Make the handle a little deeper, but I'm not sure about that yet.
Okay. So whenever you're ready, all we have to do is after you get the knocks on and cut the string grooves, we're going to do a little tiller in it and shooting, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. Sounds good. Right. So that'll be part 2. Part 2 will be tillering and shooting. Yep. That'll be the end of this video.
Yep.
All right. Did good, Chris.
Good job, Joe.